talk about what we have today in our solutions for Lenovo. So Lenovo, I mean, this is, how to sell. I mean, the first few slides are, the benefits behind BWA. And I don't think I have to sell anybody on here in BWA. In fact, BWA is going end of life in 2020. So most customers have already moved forward to HANA. But standard BWA, the Business Warehouse Accelerator, is going end of life. SAP announced it's going end of life. Right now it's considered feature complete. They're not doing any more enhancements to the Business Warehouse Accelerator. They're simply performing maintenance updates to it. So most customers, when HANA was released in 2010, the customers that were on BW, because BW is the first platform for HANA, began that migration off of BWA onto HANA. So this slide here talks about the benefits of BWA with your standard BW system, heavy analytics, slow in response time. Many customers fronted their BW systems with the Business Warehouse Accelerator, which is an appliance that loads your cubes forward to a report accelerator, basically. So it provides the consistent, fast response time, the affordability and agility of your BW system. It integrates within the landscape, and it simplifies your entire BW system. And this is some of the results that you would see. So customers that had a 3.5 to 6.5 second response time on their standard BW system, when they put in their BWA, they saw a sub-second response time for specific reports. It was a very simple appliance to install. So the way it worked is you would go in, identify the cubes you wanted to accelerate, and you would load them forward. SAP has no backup solution for BWA because it's just an in-memory report accelerator. So you load your cubes forward into the report accelerator from your back-end BW system, and you execute against those cubes in the BWA. The simplicity of it, you would install your accelerator, you configure your link to your back-end BW system, select the cubes that you're looking to accelerate. They would then load forward into BWA, and that initial load may take some time depending on the size of your BW's system and the cubes you want to accelerate. But then once you load those forward, there's no change or anything to your infrastructure. It's simply a simple appliance report accelerator. We're still certifying BWAs with SAP. I think we're probably the last vendor still certifying current technology for BWA. We're doing that with two platforms, actually. Our Flex system, which is our next blade-based system, so it's horizontal compute nodes. And this is available today on Broadwell systems. So we have the Broadwell platform that is certified for the BWA, and it includes the Spectrum Scale, formerly GPFS, the General Parallel File System, which is the IBM parallel file system that's been in a product since the 1998, I believe. So what they're doing is they are combining the high availability aspects within SUSE operating system, because SUSE is the only operating system that we certify with, combined with GPFS, provides that automatic failover to a standby node within the Flex solution. What else do I want to hit? So you see up on there also the 3850 and 3950 X6 systems, certified with the Flex. The Flex system is certified with the Lenovo or the IBM storage V3700 and S3200. And we provide the installation and support services as well. So this is current technology. The Flex System X240 node, the M5 node. These are all E5 processors for the BWA. HANA is based primarily on the E7 processor. And we can talk about that as we go forward. But you have basically your blades that can go up to 256 gigabytes now. So huge BWA opportunities. The storage to support it, along with the Spectrum Scale OS or file system, and SUSE operating system. This is what we've been selling most of lately. As customers begin to migrate off of BWA onto HANA, this is a BWA running on a HANA certified platform. So what you can do, the last few BWAs that I've done for customers have been on this platform. So then they're positioned in an SAP HANA architecture that they can then reuse that hardware within their HANA landscape once they complete their migration. So there's probably, I'm guessing maybe 15 to 20% of the customers that still may be running BWA. Most have migrated forward to HANA. Some large customers, and that's where the Flex node comes in. This solution is available in the 4U chassis up to 1 terabyte, and in the 8U or 8 socket up to 2 terabytes. The Flex chassis can go up to 7+ terabytes with dual chassis models. So, like I said, the last couple of customers have opted for this platform. Question?
So, if people have like the Blade Center stuff, are they keeping it or are they migrating to something like this? Or?
I'm sorry, what was the beginning?
Okay, we're a BWA customer. We have the Blade Center with the Blade style.
Okay.
Are people keeping the blades or are they migrating to this?
So the HS Blade series chassis, yeah. So that product this is the next generation. Well, I'm sorry, the Flex system is the next generation to the HS chassis. So if you have an HS 21, 22, 23 Blade chassis, the Flex is the replacement for that Blade Center chassis. And you could migrate, depending on what your BWA requirement is, you could migrate to the Flex, or if you fit within a 2 terabyte BWA solution, and you're on that path to HANA, this would be the more, say, preferred solution.
In any case, it's going to go into live.
Correct. Yes, that's a statement from SAP. That's from SAP. Okay? All right. Okay, so as I stated, these are E7 processors, either the 8880 or the 8890 V4, which is the Broadwell currently, up to 1 terabyte of the DDR4 memory, and SLES 12 SP1 as the OS. And that's a 4-socket, 4U high chassis. The 3950, which is an 8U, 8-socket, same processors, the 8880 or the 8890 Broadwell, with up to 2 terabytes of RAM, and the same SUSE operating system. This solution previously was not available in a high availability configuration. We've had this about roughly 2 years. We started certifying this for our customers that weren't yet ready to migrate to HANA from their BWA. And one of the concerns, unlike the Flex solution, which has the high availability standby node, this did not offer high availability. As of TechEd this year, back in September, we've certified this in a high availability configuration with SAP. So again, what we did is the single node solution does not require GPFS if you're good with a certain amount of downtime, say up to 4 hours of downtime while you reload your BWA system from your back-end BW system. And this solution now, if you need basically zero downtime with your BWA, we offer this in a high availability configuration. So we've incorporated GPFS, a quorum node, and now you have your 38 or 3950 chassis as your master node, the backup node, and then the quorum node, which participates in that GPFS cluster. So if your master fails, the quorum node will recognize that failure and facilitate, in combination with GPFS and the SUSE high availability operating system, facilitate that failover. It's connected with redundant 10 gig low latency switches, and your BWA now has high availability mode positioned on a HANA platform. When you migrate to HANA, you can then repurpose those systems within your HANA landscape. Training systems, dev systems, as you move forward with that migration.
Using separate channels for sync and production?
Separate channels for, you mean?
For replication and production.
Yes, within this cluster? Yeah, so you have, I'm sorry, say that again, Patrick.
So are you separating the replication network and the production data network?
Oh, from within the low latency switches? Yes, I believe they're VLAN off onto separate channels. This is what we offer today, and this was the V3. So this Flex node with the Haswell processor, up to 5.3, almost 5.4 terabytes, if you have a BWA requirement that large. And everything in between. I mean, it starts as small as 128 gig all the way up to 5.4 terabytes. With the V4 or Broadwell processor and the additional cores that processor provides, we can go up to just over 7 terabytes. Again, very large, but some of the largest customers are the ones that have not migrated to HANA yet. So we do still support our customers from a BWA perspective, and are providing both platforms, either the Flex for the very high end customers, as well as the HANA platform for customers that have a BWA requirement up to 2 terabytes that they could then repurpose that hardware. So it's about investment protection and keeping your business running until you're ready to migrate. This is basically a summary slide. So BWA has been very successful for the past 10 plus years. It's very easy to implement. It's very much more like an appliance, plug and play design. It has a very large customer installation base. It's extremely scalable. You can start with a few compute nodes in the Flex option, or a smaller system on the 38 and 3950 platform, and then grow that as your needs grow. But like I said, most customers' BWA needs are not growing at this point. They're looking forward to HANA. It reduces your total cost of ownership for your BWA. Those 3850 platforms, you can basically afford 2 chassis to have one on your floor if you go with single model mode, and have a backup sitting there that you could plug in, load, and go in the event of a failure. If you did not want to opt for the high availability option with the GPFS, compared to a single chassis solution. And we are continuing, Lenovo continues to heavily invest in the SAP BI environment for our customers, where other vendors have dropped support of BWA. we still invest in that space, and we're providing solutions, current solutions in that BW space. I think that might have been, that's the last slide. So questions? Go ahead.
Like I said, we've got a couple of big clusters, a test system, production system,
Mm-hmm.
but we treat it more or less as a black box.
Right. And it is. It's basically an in-memory report accelerator, just kind of sits out there and works. Are you looking at migrating to HANA at this point?
Well, we're looking at IDA. They had it in for a while, but it wouldn't do everything we did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gathering information.
Okay. Well, the next natural step from an SAP perspective is from BWA to HANA, but HANA is not as black box type as the BWA was. HANA is a true database solution to where you need to maintain it as such.
Okay, looking at the black box thing again, we don't like upgrade the software, we don't put on fixes, patches, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have a consultant come in. Is that the right way
Mm-hmm.
to do it?
Yep.
Is that the right way to do it?
Kind of don't fix it if it's not broke kind of scenario. Well, you could get away with that more with the BWA than you can with HANA. So, but Lenovo offers services in that space. We have something that we call a health check service. So we will come out under contract and do all those updates for you. So if you want to do that once a year, every 6 months, whatever your schedule is, Lenovo will come out and do that work for you. We also provide a full managed services offering that will put in a server as a touch point and monitor and maintain the system 24/7. So whatever works within your budget, your data center, we can help you there.
Is it common? I mean, which would you say that most people do?
It depends. Larger customers that are new to SAP HANA opt for the full managed services portfolio, where we manage and maintain the system at least for the first few years for them as they're coming up to speed. Other smaller customers whose budget may not allow for a full managed services, or that they have a staff that they're bringing up to speed, will do the health check service. And with each service, well, I should say more with the health check service, your staff can work with our people as they do the firmware updates and things like that, and gain skills transfer through that process.
So it is okay for customers to do upgrades and firmware changes and stuff. You don't have to wait for a consultant.
No, you can do them yourself if you have a staff that is skilled to do the updates. I'm assuming you've been maintaining your BWA to some degree. Very little. Right. HANA, you have to have a little bit more. I mean, you obviously have Linux skills. So with an SAP HANA implementation, you would need to have some database skills as well. Database administrator type, along with the basis skills and that operating system skill set. What, I'm sorry, who are you with? Okay, all right, yep. Yeah, but we're there. I mean, if you want, I'll be happy to give you one of my business cards. I should have put my contact information at the end of the slide set, but be happy to give you one of my business cards. You can reach out to me, and we can discuss, your path forward as BWA comes end of life in 2020.
Are you one of the people that go out and install them or tune them up?
No, I used to be. I used to be a certified basis consultant back in the R3 days, but now they've kind of move that job into a more of a technical sales position. We do have a team of people that I work very closely with and talk to almost on a daily basis that do the day-to-day work. And I can link you up with those folks as well. You know, we want to make sure that you have a smooth transition from your BWA system into, you know, the next step, which would be SAP HANA. And we have one of the most widely adopted HANA solutions in the marketplace today. It's a very, you know, it's all about investment protection. We have the X5, which we originally certified on the Westmere processor. We continue to implement X6 systems within the same cluster. And as we move forward with the Intel progression into the next architecture, you know, we will continue that same type of forward-looking investment protection idea. Other questions, or did that answer? Yeah, okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, we're real good on time, so if there's anything else, I'll be here, and I'd be happy to talk, you know, one-on-one with anyone. All right, well, thank you for your attendance, and I'm around to answer any questions you might have.